What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today, I am doing my top 5 list. There were some other ones, like I was gonna mention Roadhouse, but I haven't watched that one in a while. I have to really rewatch that one because that was more I rewatched as more when I was a bit younger. So yeah, I figured I couldn't count that one. So I'm just gonna stick to the 5 I came up with. I think 90. I probably there should be a bit more. Um, but I can't wait to get there because now we're in the 90s now. But yeah, um, 89. This one was a bit smaller, but 89 was still a good year. I mean, we had the because I think for the most part this was dominated by my number one, Batman 89. Like that was the film that took that year by storm. To where like when you even just think 1989, you immediately just think of that movie. That's like the first thing you think. So, but I do have some other ones, so we'll get right to it. Before I get into that, I'll start with my what I got planned this week. I'm gonna be doing this tomorrow. Normally, I would be doing my Bond um movies, but I'm gonna push up my Transformers review because because of work. I can't be, because friend Mara does breakdowns of movies, and then she's doing a breakdown of, ironically, that's going to be on my number 4, Bill and Ted, and I um and I don't feel like watching two movies, and I figure I'll push Bond anyway because for another reason I want to go in on a Beast Rise of the Beast, so I'll just do Transformers on Wednesday. I mean, not Transformers. I'll do Transformers tomorrow, and I'll do Living Daylights, which we're gonna start the Timothy Dalton ones, which I know you only did two. This one's gonna be interesting because I don't really remember these. I think I more remember License to Kill. That's like the one I mainly remember from him. I don't really remember this one, so we'll see how it is. So I'll be watching that one on Wednesday. But next week I'll be back to doing the Bond movies on Tuesdays again. But just for this week, because I also do want to go in on Transformers Rise of the Beast because I've been kind of stewing on this for a few days. So I figured why not just do it on Tuesday anyway. I was actually going to probably do it anyway, so I just, two birds, one stone. So I'll do it on tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be doing that. Wednesday I'll be doing not license, that's next week. Living Daylights. Thursday I'll be doing starting the Starship Trooper movies since there's 3 of them, and I figured since there's been a lot of discussions as the games come out, why not do a review of the movies? I'm actually listening to the book, the audiobook of the book, actually, of the movie, which actually the movie's based on. So I'm gonna be figure why not just review it. So I'll be doing that, the first one, and then next week I'll be doing 2. Um, so on Thursday, and then Friday I'll be doing the video I was originally gonna do on Sunday until like I remembered it was Jurassic Park anniversary. I'll be doing my top 10 wrestling matches, and then sometime this weekend I will be reviewing The Flash. I'll figure out a way to watch it. I'm not seeing it in theaters. I'll just say that. So I'll watch it. Hope probably about on the weekend at some point, and then I will review it most likely like Sunday or something. Um, so that's the plan for the week. But I'll get into my top 5 of 1989. My number 5 is Tango and Cash. This was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and then when I rewatched it last year, it was I forgot how good it was. It was, Ray Tango and Gabe Cash, 2 rival cops forced to work together because they're framed by the villain Beret for murder. So they are forced to work together to basically clear the names. And it's one of those great buddy cop movies, where You have people who don't like each other. They have to work together, and it's fucking great. It makes for great hilarity. Although they had great chemistry, it really shows Stallone's versatility as actor. This was like a year after I fucked up, and the fact I couldn't remember Rambo 4 from 1988, because yeah, he did a year before this, and it's like, and then Kurt Russell's in it. I love Perea as a villain. It's just an all around funny movie. I've seen some people say this is actually probably their favorite Stallone film, and I don't blame you. It's definitely one of the best. If I were to do a ranking of best buddy cop movies, which thinking about it right now, I actually probably will do that at some point. I definitely would put this one up there. It really works. Two of my favorite actors in one movie. The chemistry is off the charts. And yeah, I watch this one often. I'm probably gonna watch this one soon, again, just because for the fuck of it. So I had to put that on my list for number 5. Number 4 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I always loved this movie. This was one of those movies where Keanu kind of got his big start in. And I can understand why. It was just a simple movie about two friends, about to end high school. And Ted, unfortunately, gets in trouble because of his grades. He is potentially going to go to military school because of his dad. So he has to try to get his grades up. So he works with Bill. And this is where we meet Rufus, because there's in his world, Bill and Ted are basically gods. I love it. I love the reveal of his world. You kind of see in the opening. It's like a bit of ahead of time. So basically, Rufus is basically there to help them help them get their report right, because if he doesn't, Bill and Ted basically are never going to see each other again, and that world basically gets destroyed. So you have to save. I love that. How they tied that into a plot. Just tied that all into a plot and made it work. And it's just iconic. I mean, 69 dudes, most bodacious, just a lot of these catchphrases. Be excellent to each other. And, it's just, fucking love it. And it's one of my favorite because I saw a tweet the other day, like best Back to the Future time travel movie, and this is I picked this one because I love the way they go to different eras. That you go from, for example, they go to meet Billy the Kid from fucking in the fucking Wild West. They go to Socrates in ancient Greece, Genghis Khan, fucking Sigmund Freud, Lincoln, Joan of Arc. I love the medieval scene, and they actually captured it. Like, it almost looked like a medieval movie. Like, they were able to capture all these different eras, and then jump back to current times. They did a really good job with it. I fucking love this movie. I had a fun time reviewing it last year. I'm definitely gonna put Most Bogus Journey in whatever year. I'm thinking it's like 91. That's like what I'm thinking it was. So it was 90 or 91. I'll definitely put it in the list for that, because I definitely love that one too. But yeah, this one, I love the final scene. It's just an all-around great movie. Late great George Carlin's awesome in it as Rufus. Yeah, I have fun with this movie. It's definitely one of those great Keanu greats. Shows his versatility. I mean, this is him becoming like the Matrix and Speed and Point Break. This was way before that, but still, this is a great start for him. So, number 3 is Lethal Weapon 2. This is one, it's interesting, because I'll say this. I do not rewatch this one. I mean, I do rewatch it, but I don't rewatch this one as much, sometimes just because of the apartheid element, just because it dates it a bit, and just because of the times we're in. So anything that kind of deals with that shit, a lot of the time I almost just don't. Even if it's a good movie, I kind of need a movie that's just a bit more on the timeless side, and I just feel like 1, 3, and 4 are a bit more timeless. But this one is a great one, and I still would definitely put this one on this list, because one thing, the one thing this really continues is the great chemistry between Murtaugh and Riggs. Like, even in just that opening car chase, you feel like they've been working together for a few years. And I really like the darker tone, especially with Riggs's character specifically, because we find out that the villain that works for Arjun Rudd, he's the one who actually killed his wife, because he was supposed to kill Riggs, and it wasn't Riggs, it was his wife. So we find that out. So it definitely pushes Riggs to a darker place, you know? And as they bring in Joe Pesci. I mean, I fucking love him. I love Leo. He is one of my favorite characters. This is where we get they fuck you in the drive-thru, and then because you're black. I mean, there's so many great funny moments in this movie, and then we get the most one of my probably my personally iconic lines in Lethal Weapon. Diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked. I fucking love it. I love in general like that final scene I love like shit at the docks and at the ship scene. I just kind of like, I don't know, just a cool aesthetic. So I overall love this movie. Even I'll admit, like I said, may not rewatch it as much as like some of the others, but I do love this film. And that scene where Riggs, there's a toilet rigged to Murtaugh's toilet, so if he got up, it's gonna blow up. Where Riggs and Murtaugh had some just like great, not just banter, but like there was a genuine scene between the two, like where, like, because there was like that, potential Murtaugh could die, so he has to jump off the toilet before, get into like because they're like the bomber people came in. Yeah, you get Murtaugh being embarrassed, which is funny, but it's a genuine scene between the two. I fucking love it. One of my favorite scenes in the franchise. So I love it. I just love this movie. I just think it is a great sequel. So I had to put that at number 3. Number 2 is Back to the Future Part 2. This is my second. I think the first one edges it out a smidgen, but I do love Back to the Future Part 2. I love the fact that it is kind of in 2 timelines. It starts off in 1985, 3 technically, but 1985, and then they go to 2015 for a bit, and then they even go back to 1955. They almost like go back to the first movie. You see the first movie almost play out in a different angle, even just in a different perspective. I fucking love it. Like, they really did a good job with that. The relationship between Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, the chemistry is still there. Like, they still don't miss a beat. I love the scenes in 2015. I actually like that they involved Jennifer in the story. We even get to see future future Marty. I love it. Biff in this alternate universe marries his mom. So I like he has to go back in time because, future Biff sees older, because there's old Biff who sees, because Marty buys a sports almanac. He ends gets forced to throw it away, takes it, Biff takes it and then gives it to Biff from 1955, and history changes. So I really love this movie. It's definitely like, it's up there it's almost up there with the first movie for me. I do think the first movie edges it out, but I do love this one. But yeah, I had to have that at number 2. Number 1, I mean, it's not a spoiler. I mean, everyone knows I'm a Batman fan. Batman 89. I mean, this is my favorite Batman movie. Batman Returns is a close second, like borderline, almost tied, but I do love this one. This was the one that made me a Batman fan. Tied with the animated series, but really it was this movie. That opening just credits with the music and the way they were able to intertwine Prince with the Prince's music, and this Joker scene, which I've said I love Heath Ledger's Joker. I think he had a great performance. But my favorite Joker is Jack Nicholson's because he is the closest to the comics. The way he played it is just so good. He felt like right out of the page. Some scenes where I'm like, granted, I just kind of always loved him when I was a kid. Even in the height of the Dark Knight, I did love Ledger, but I still really did love Nicholson. Every time I just watched him as the Joker, especially that scene at the museum, it's just so good with the Prince music. Like it fits the movie. It wasn't just there because it was Prince, because he was big at the time. So we had Prince music. It was like it actually fit the movie. And just in general, the music. I really liked Michael Keaton as Batman. He's not he's my second favorite Batman, but he definitely plays it well. I like his Bruce. Um, I love the Alfred in it. I just love Let's Get Nuts. It's just like it's a classic. There's really a lot. I need to review it at some point because it's just such an iconic film. It, I could. This is the film that really kind of gave DC a kick. I mean, you had the Donner films, but this definitely gave DC a kick in the ass at the time. And granted, then they hit the home run again with Batman Returns, but then they dropped the ball a little bit with Batman Forever, which I think is decent personally. Like, take out some of the cringe. I don't hate it, but it's not a great film. But I do. This one is the one that started it for me. Like, so yeah, and that final act, it has my favorite Batmobile. That Batmobile is just so fucking iconic. Like, you see that Batmobile, like that's the fucking Batmobile. Same with the Batplane. I love that Batplane. It's everything about it. So I had to put that one as my number one for the year. Can't wait to get into the '90s. I love this series, man. I've been loving doing the series. Like, I've been kind of thinking about this for a while. I just didn't know if I wanted to do it, but fuck it. I've been having fun with it. So, but other than that, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow for going. We're gonna be roasting that new Transformers movie. Fuck that fucking movie. I could see if you don't. Maybe if you're not uber, like you look at Transformers, like I'll admit I'm more of a casual Transformers too, but just the things I saw, what they did to Optimus, I'm a Beast Force fan too, and it just why no Predacons, no fucking Megatron as a fucking T Rex. You don't have fucking um you have Unicron for no fucking reason. And the amount of scenes you saw in the trailer, basically, and he even his voice, which isn't bad, doesn't do anything for me because he's not doing shit. And you want to see him. You want to see him fully transformed. No, you don't even get to see that. That don't even fucking happen. They don't even fucking hint at it. They don't even hint at his design. As bad as the fucking Fart Cloud Galactus was, at least there's a shot where they somewhat made the cloud shape look. Granted, it was shit, but at least they kind of made the cloud look like Galactus, the actual head, at least. So they did that little extra thing. This movie didn't even do that. There's nothing recognizable about Unicron in this movie. Optimus Prime, the whole his anti-human arc in this movie, he had to basically learn lessons from both Primal and then the fucking human Noah, who he gave me Cole vibes from MK 2021. When I was watching this, I'm like, he reminds me of that guy Cole, because the thumbnail you're gonna see for it, I posted on Instagram, is him in the exosuit, which is Mirage, who gets fucked up by Scourge, so he ends up having to, because he can detach himself, because there's a scene he detaches himself. It gives Cole this wrist thing, whatever, wrist Iron Man thing. It's just what it felt like to me. And I'm not saying everything in armor is Iron Man, but the way it's done, because the MCU Iron Man even has a nanotech which can detach. It has the similar thing to me. So even visually, you could have made that look a little different. And I get it's a thing from the show, the cartoon, But it's been mentioned to me that they didn't have him fight in it, though. If they didn't have him fight in it, that'd been one thing, but they didn't do that. They had him fight in it. It looked visually fucking dumb. I don't want to see humans fighting fucking Transform. Okay, I don't want to go into the rant now, but I just had to mention it. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. So I'm going to be roasting this piece of shit. But other than that, I'll be talking to y'all tomorrow. Peace.